Digitalized Learning. I'm myself Yukta. I'll take 10th bio. So our first chapter is life process. By hearing the word life process, what first comes in our mind is something that the process which enables so that we humans are alive. So let's move forward. What all we'll study in this chapter are about nutrition, respiration, transportation, and excretion. So, moving forward to the introduction of the chapter, the basic process of life include organization, metabolism, responsiveness, movements, and reproduction. For example, we can see in amoeba and plasmodium. Now, in humans who represent the most complex form of life, there are additional requirements such as growth, differentiation, respiration, digestion, and excretion. Now, all of these processes are interrelated. Now, the next slide is what is life process. Maintenance of living organism is essential even if they are moving, resting, or even sleeping. For all these movements, we require a life process. The process which together perform the function of maintenance of life are called life process. Now, nutrition, respiration, circulation, excretion are all examples of essential life process. Now, what is nutrition? Nutrition is the process of taking food and converting it into energy and other vital nutrients required for life. Then, for example, when we walk or ride a bicycle, we are using up energy. The energy, where does the energy comes from? The energy comes from the food which we eat. Now, types of nutrition, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic means which is made by ourselves, and heterotrophic means we are taking it from another, like it is prepared somewhere else and we are eating. Now, autotrophic nutrition, if an organism can nourish itself by making its own food using sunlight or chemicals, such nutrient mode is called autotrophic nutrition. Now, plants photosynthesize, they use light energy to make their food, so they are called photoautotrophs. Now, few bacteria use chemical to derive energy and are called chemoautotrophs. Now, coming on to heterotrophic nutrition, when an organism depends on others for food, such a mode of nutrition is called heterotrophic mode of nutrition. We humans are the best example of heterotrophic nutrition. These organisms depend on autotrophs for their nutritional requirements. Example, animals which eat plants as their food are called herbivores. Then the animals which eat other animals as their food are called carnivores. Holozoic, saprophytic, and parasitic nutrition are all type of heterotrophic nutrition. Moving on to next slide, we come upon respiration. Now, what is respiration? Something we can say oxygen, intake of oxygen and exhalation of carbon dioxide. We can say the intake of oxygen is respiration. Respiration is the movement of oxygen from outside the environment to the cells within the tissues and the transport of carbon dioxide in opposite direction. Now, respiration in humans. The human respiratory system is more complex and involves breathing, exchange of gases, and cellular respiration. A well-defined respiration system helps breathing and exchange of gases. Breathing involves the inhalation of oxygen and exhalation of carbon dioxide. As I said, inhalation of oxygen and carbon dioxide exhalation. The gaseous exchange takes place in the lungs and oxygen is supplied to the cells of the body. Cellular respiration takes place in each and every cell. Now, respiratory system of human. The human respiratory system involves nose, nasal cavities, pharynx, larynx, trachea, the windpipe, bronchi, bronchioles, and alveoli. Bronchioles and alveoli are enclosed in a pair of lungs. The rib cage, muscles associated with the rib cage, and the diaphragm all helps in inhalation and exhalation of gases. Exchange of gases takes place between an alveolar surface and surrounding blood vessels. Alveoli provide a large surface area for exchange of gases. Now here is a diagram showing the respiratory system of human. First, the air goes through the nasal passage, means our nose. Then the fine hairs of our nose, they purify the air Then it goes to the pharynx, then to the larynx, then to the trachea, and then to the lungs. Moving on to next, that is respiration in plants. Unlike animals and humans, plants do not have specialized structures for gaseous exchange. They have stomata present in leaves and lenticels present in stems, which are involved in the exchange of gases. Compared to animals, plant roots, stem, and leaves respire at a very low rate. Moving on to next, that is transportation. All living organisms need a few necessary components like air, water, and food for their survival. On a regular basis, animals ensure these elements by breathing, drinking, and eating. The required elements are transported to the body, cells, and tissues by a transportation system. In plants, the vascular tissue is responsible for transporting the substances. Transportation. What do you mean by transportation? Like when we take any food, it transports to our body. That is something called transportation. Now, transportation in humans. Transportation in humans is done by circulatory system. The circulatory system in humans mainly consists of blood, blood vessels, and heart. Now, it is responsible for the supply of oxygen, nutrients, removal of carbon dioxide, and other excretory products. It also fights the infections. Transportation in plants. Transportation is a vital process in plants. The process involves the transportation of water and necessary nutrients to all parts of the plant for its survival. Food and water transportation takes place separately in plants. Xylem transport water and phloem transport food. Now, excretion. Excretion is the process of removal of metabolic waste, materials, and other non-useful substances. Organisms like animals have an advanced specialized system for excretion, but plants lack a well-developed excretory system like that in animals. They do not have special organs for excretion, and thus excretion in plants is not so complex. So, what is excretion? Like if we eat food, then we need to excrete it every day. That the process through which it happens is called excretion. Excretory in humans. The excretory system in humans include a pair of kidney, a pair of ureters, a urinary bladder, and a urethra. It produces urine as a waste product. Now, a diagram of a human excretory system. So, you can see the kidney, the two bean-like shaped, then the ureters, then the urinary bladder, and then the urethra. Then coming to excretion in plants, plants use completely different strategies for excretion than those of animals. Oxygen itself can be taught as a waste product generated during photosynthesis. So this is the end of our slide and the end of the chapter. So subscribe and like our videos so that you'll get the latest updates.